So today we're going to look at cutting a bowl blank to fit on your lathe. So sure enough, if you've got a wood lathe, you're probably going to want to turn a bowl or make something out of it. Alright, so we've got that scenario of, if you like, where does the wood come from? What you're going to do with it. Once you've gone away from possibly buying pre-cut bowl blanks or you've got access to your own material, you're probably going to want to cut it out. So how? What you're going to use? Now you've got a couple of scenarios. You might get some log material, you might get some board material. We're going to do a bowl to link onto this video as well that's going to show you how you can use that. So we're going to use a piece of sycamore for the bowl. So how are we going to mark that out? I'm going to explain that. So first thing, you're probably going to need a bandsaw. Alright, it's the easiest way of cutting the disc out. Grind direction we'll look at a little bit in a minute. So bandsaw wise, if you're going to cut a circle, ideally we're going to want a narrower blade, not as wide. So the blade we've got, that one, that's a wide blade, that's more of a rib blade. The narrow blade we've got here will allow us to cut that tighter curve in a circle. That's quite important. If you try and cut it with this, you're not going to get enough clearance, it won't work. So narrow blade is more important. Alright, so let's just put those out the way for a sec. If we're going to go with some board material, something as a plank, you can obviously put this down. Now I've got plywood template. All we've done over the years is make up some plywood templates. We can even turn them on the lathe, put it on. I could draw a pencil line around it. One option. We can also use this and pinpoint the middle. Other way, we go set dividers, you can scratch it out. That's quite nice, you can move things around, so that will work. If you get into something where you've maybe got some log material and you want to cut your bowl, that scenario doesn't work. Get things back. You can't put your plywood on there nicely and get a nice true circle. Likewise, if we go with our dividers, we're going to get an egg. Not easy to do. So the better way there, go with something like the circle cut jig that we've got over here. And we're going to link the video to that. We showed you how to make that. So there's a video link coming up on there. So that will show you how you can make your circle cut jig. So you can use, we can put the faceplate on or maybe do a natural edge bowl. So that's giving you a scenario how to convert that. Alright, so from there, other things to consider with your board. Is it flat? Is it stable? Is there a bark insert that comes in underneath that's going to cause it to rock? Are there any splits and cracks in it? Little defects that actually mean when you start pushing through, maybe the piece of wood will fall off and you're not aware of it. That means you're still going to slip round. So all those little things need to be taken into account. So from there, I've marked out on either side of the knots so we don't have those in our bowl. We've got a heart shake up through here, so I'm looking at those features to get the best out of it and get rid of the things that cause problems later when we come to turn it. So hopefully you're enjoying the content of this video. If so, hit that like and subscribe button and share this with your friends as well, because they'd love to see this. Quite informative. Also lets us know you're enjoying what we're doing. Alright, so we come over to the bandsaw. We've got a blade that will cope with what we're going to cut. We've got an 8-inch disc to take out of this. So all I've done with this one, because it's uniform thickness, it's pretty stable, I've drawn around my template. That's quick and easy to lay onto the board and identify the features I maybe want to get rid of. So the two knots, the heart shake, all those little things come into that. So we've drawn that on nice and clear. I've checked it's stable. Next thing, bring the guides down. Get it lower. First of all, this will flex more. If you want it more accurate, by bringing things lower down, it'll give you that accuracy. The other thing, it's obviously going to be safer. So, just under, got to come up just a tiny bit. Check where things are, check I can go under. Haven't got to adjust anything halfway around. I'm now checking the board thickness is quite equal. That's quite good. So got to there, we've set up, we know things look good. Other things to think about when you're cutting this could even be grain direction. If we pull the board up on edge, our plank grain is running that way. So we've got end grain, side grain, end grain, side grain. So we're cutting this out of a board. What difference does that make? We've got different densities along here. The end grain fibres will be harder, more resistant. Side grain, a bit like using your hand plane, easier to plane, will cut quicker. So you've got to be aware of that. Weak bits, thin section here, short grain here might break up when we're cutting, coming through. all those little things you've got to think about, and where your hands go. So we can go behind the blade, we can support here, trying to keep my fingers out of that circular on the middle of the saw, keep us nice and safe. The next little thing we've just done, we turn the extraction on. You can probably hear it. That's important because that gets rid of the fine dust particles that are going to float around off the saw. Keeps it cleaner, makes sure the bandsaw lasts longer for you, and also keep you safer. So cut all the way around, nice and controlled, not too fast, give yourself time to react. It's not a race. We could have cut faster, but nice and controlled means you'll be more accurate and safer. Next thing, we've got to get this back out. So at the moment, people start pulling it about. I've switched it off. I've let it stop. Let's bring our guides up a little bit. That allows me to see a bit more here. Now I can bring it out. Okay, got a little bit of pinch on there where I came in. Just going to pull that up. Okay, that's not bad. Now, we want to feed it back through here. Next thing, everything was fluid motion cutting round. Not lots of forward and back movements. If you're pulling this back, the blade starts to move on the wheels. It can come off the front or move off the back of the wheel. More likely off the front if you're pulling back and forwards, lots of little cuts. If you've got too wide a blade, yes, it will restrict what you're doing size-wise. 8-inch, we can get away with that. If I go a lot smaller, need a narrower blade, definitely. But that forward motion, all in line, keep my fingers away from that danger area. Even that little bit of feeding back out, stop it, give yourself a chance. Look how the tension's altered on this. That springs out, that'll trap the blade trying to pull it out. You pull it back with it running, pull it off. So there's our board cut, there's our bowl blank that we can slide out of there gently, look, okay? So that's ready to make our bowl. Real simple cutout technique, freehand, you could go with the jig, different ways of getting over that thing, how we mark out everything else. Major thing I want to get over is the safety and how you control it. Hopefully if you've liked, you'll see more videos coming up along this line. I get a chance now to go make a bowl, so that's going to be something more interesting for you maybe. So we'll see you again soon. Bye then. But remember, if you like it, subscribe, hit that share button, thumbs up and all that stuff. We'll see you soon.